and it was very expensive, very pricey, but I told you it performs really well. But I also told you that you don't really need that big of a team, because not many of you will be able to build that, and you don't really need that big of a team, that good of a team, that expensive of a team to be able to perform well and beat other players. And I told you that I will build a very cheap team and show you very similar results with it, and this is basically that. So but in between then and now, stuff happens such as the price ranges, so people are having a very hard time selling their players to make coins, and also high rated players are very hard to be purchased right now, and of course buying coins is pretty much eradicated for the time being. So people will probably go for these low teams, and I will give you an example of one that I think is great. So let's see what the team is like. Before we get into the team, guys, though, remember that for cheap games and codes, go to g2a.com. The link and discount code are in the description. They're having a sale right now. If you use PayPal to purchase games, you can have them on ridiculous prices, so go check them out. But let's see the team right now. It is the 4-2-3-1, the second variation with the right and left mid. Probably one of the best formations for counterattacking, but also possession style football, which is great for me. And let's see, in the goalkeeper, we went with Tim Howard. I think he is just a great value for money, and I am a huge fan of him in real life, so hopefully he performs as good as I think he should. And right back we have Sanya. Now I have never used this guy. Very well rounded, very strong, not very pacey, but I thought I always go for the pace at the fullback, so I thought this time I'm just gonna go with some strength on the right back. But don't worry, we have pace on the left back because it is Moreno from Liverpool. I haven't played with this guy either. I'm gonna tell you all my thoughts on all the players in the gameplay section, remember that. The defense though, I started with the fullbacks, isn't that weird? But the defense though, the center backs, we have on the right center back, we have Sako from Liverpool as well. And on the left we have Kabul from Tottenham. Now Kabul, always a favorite in Ultimate Team, but now he has been downgraded. He is a non-rare gold, which makes him just cheaper, and I think he is pretty solid still. Sako, always a strong one. He's tall. His pace, some people probably overlook him because he's under 70 pace, but I gave him a chance. Now in the midfield, the center defensive mids, we have on the right Fellaini, a big boy, and I thought I have very high expectations of Fellaini because of that afro, because he's so strong. And on the other side though, we have Czech Tiote. I haven't used him. Also a very classic pick in the past Ultimate Teams, but I thought I'd give him a chance. I could have had a lot of other players in this midfield, but I went with these. On the right mid though, we go into the wingers with Walcott. Nothing to say about him, obviously. Always good to have pace on the wings, and Walcott also has some dribbling, and sometimes he plays as a striker in real life, as you may know, so his finishing is pretty up to par as well. But on the other side, we have Ashley Young. This guy, always good in FIFA. Arguably not always good in real life. His actual own team fans are really giving him a lot of crap. Not lately, because he has been turning up lately, but in the cam spot, we have Remy Cabella. This guy I picked. I could have picked so many other players in that spot, but I went with Cabella just because I'm really starting to be a fan of him in real life. He is such a smooth dribbler, and his passing and his shooting as well are pretty darn good for his position. So he's impressed me in real life, so that's why I picked him for the team. And in the striker to complete the team, we have Romelu Lukaku. I have used him before this year, and I can tell you already that he is a monster. And that is the team right there. Now let's get into the gameplay section, show you all the goals I've scored with this team, and tell you my thoughts on how it performs. So we go into the gameplay. I'm gonna start the review with the goalkeeper, obviously. Tim Howard, I was pretty not impressed because I expected high things, but good things from him, and he did not disappoint. He will save you if you ever mess up in defense and your opponent goes through. You can rely on him to save you, but he is no Neuer or Courtois, and that's why I gave him a 4 out of 5. A good keeper, not one of the best though by far. As we go into the defense, let's see. The defense was actually probably the best part about this team was the defense. Namely, the left back Moreno. You will see actually right now a crazy long shot that he scored from a deflected corner, and with his strong foot. However, you do not expect that from a left back, from a right back, from a full back in general. Dani Alves can't score like that for me, but Moreno can, and I was mostly impressed by him The other ones, I didn't really notice them, which something people say that when you don't notice your defense in Ultimate Team, it's a good sign, because if they mess up, if they really screw up, you're gonna remember that. But I don't remember anything that they did wrong, so they must have been good, which is why they get a 4.5 out of 5, almost perfect defense there. And we go into the midfield. Now the midfielders, Tiote, Fellaini were really good. Young probably could have been better sometimes. Walcott, I had nothing against. Walcott was really good. He is not just pace by far. He can dribble and he can score as well. And he can pass, sure, why not? But as I said, Young could have been better sometimes. However, the midfield was very solid, both tracking back and starting attacking play. And I think I will give the midfield a maybe a 4.5 out of 5, just because it is so close to being a perfect midfield. If you swap maybe Ramirez for Tiote and somebody else instead of Young, that could be the perfect midfield. And we go into the attack now. As you can see, I didn't just include Lukaku in the attack, even though it's a one striker formation, because in this formation I've said so many times that the cam plays more of like a center forward. So Cabella and Lukaku are my attack, and I gave them, I'm gonna tell you first, I only gave them a 4 out of 5 just because Cabella, he should be better. I think just because of how good he is in real life, I don't think it does him justice in this game. He should be a lot better, even though he scored me quite a few dribble goals, quite a few kickoff goals, as you can see. And I still think he could have been better, but Lukaku is the perfect striker, especially for a target man, for a one-striker formation. Lukaku scored me headers, dribble goals, skill goals, cutbacks, everything Lukaku can do. And for a left-footed striker, I really don't like left-footed striker, but you don't really notice it. His right foot is really good. As you can see, this kickoff goal here from Cabella will mark the end of this review. The team was very good, but now I wanted to, the highlights are not over. I wanted to take you guys through this match because it is the perfect example of how good this team is. So we come up against this guy. He has Ibra, Robin up front, and a very interesting hybrid all around. He managed to squeeze in Depay there at left wing, and this guy, obviously, either Ibra or Robin are 80 times worth more than our entire team. So that says the statement right there. And he does go in the 8th minute. He does go in front with Depay there, and he dead fishes me. He didn't. Obviously, my defending was very bad in that opportunity, but he was one of the players that doesn't care if they have the better team. They're gonna taunt you for it, and that is when this became personal. So this guy riled me up, and we actually equalized right from kickoff with a great run from Cabella. Then he squares it off to Lukaku, and Lukaku is not gonna miss there. Throw on his right foot as well, on his strong foot, I should say, his left foot. But things go bad again. We get dead fished again after Ibra scores from the through ball. And it was a weird thing about this game. Every time you scored and you were to celebrate, the game lagged, which is a little odd. But we managed to actually go back again, equalizing this game again, this time with Walcott. Walcott, after Cabella squared him off very nicely, but then a pass comes to Lukaku, and Lukaku from the very tight angle, he finishes it with his right foot, and this time we're gonna dead fish this guy back because he was just really trying to get on my nerves and doing a very good job at it. But then we go and make it 2-goal difference with Cabella from the overtop through ball from Lukaku. You do not expect that good of a pass from a striker, but then he started making mistakes. I really got into his head there. And he did this quite a lot, but then Lukaku manages to fight off the defenders, tracking back after the mistake, and we dead fish him yet again. But then after kickoff, he starts going on a run with Depay, and I actually thought I should have gotten the ball there. I don't know what happened there, but then he dribbles around my area. He gets inside, and check out this BS. My players trip over each other, and he scores another one. I thought he was gonna dead fish me again, even though it was pretty obvious that he was gonna lose the game, but he doesn't. He just lets it auto celebrate, and you know that this guy, he still had that confidence in him, and we were trying to get that away from him. So from kickoff, we go with Cabella. Look at that burst of run there, and we finish it there, and the time for dead fish is over, and we go full shush on him. And can you hear me? So that is the exact statement that this team can do for you. A team 200 times, I'm just gonna say a crazy number, 200 times worth more than our team, and we just walked all over the guy in the end. So it was a very good team. Again, if you could change a few things about this team, such as maybe the right back, Kabeya, and Young, you could have the perfect 5-star team. This has amazing potential, this team. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this squad builder. If you want more and if you like this content from me, leave it a like and tell me in the comments below. I've been Shade though. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.